feed. And we're live right now. So there we go. Live on YouTube. So before we get started on the radio side of things, we're just kind of sitting BS a little bit, talk about how I got 4 heifers left and I finally get to sleep all night last night.
Yay.
Hey,
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah. Like to see some moisture, but it's been a great calving season for me. It's been pretty easy.
Oh, great on any and everybody.
Yeah.
Have you had twins or anything?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know why. One in my heifer clan here and one in the cow herd. And I still have to go out. I still have to go out. And the one in the cow herd and one in the heifer pen, I sold one of them off right away. And the one in the cows, she's looking like she's doing okay with them, but I'll find out today when I get back from my neighbor's branding here. If he doesn't look like I want him to look, I'll pull him off.
Gotcha.
My cows are not what you would consider high milkers here in the Badlands. Not twin material. So.
Well, and nobody really wants to spend a lot of time having to mix up bottles and all that anyway.
Yeah.
Until you have something to graft it onto.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, good enough. I appreciate you both for coming on, and we'll just kind of take turns back and forth, questions. And Tigger, my theory is ladies first all the time. So
absolutely, I'm with you.
No.
Yeah. Just so you know, so the clarification is there. So, Beck, where do you live at?
I am north of Mandan. I'm originally from Golden Valley, though.
Oh. So you guys in the same household?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good enough.
Yeah, she is my fiance.
And you don't have her in the studio with you?
I'm in the studio about 15 feet away, just with the door closed, and she's over by her desk. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Yeah, Tigger, you're sounding a little bit staticky, but
yeah, you're still coming in quite hot, but that is that'll work. I'll play with it when I'm on my sound mixer board here when we start going. On YouTube, Waylon Turnus, good morning, Waylon. Good to have you on the tube. Wayne Muth, good morning. Thanks for tuning in on the subscribing to my YouTube channel. Appreciate it, guys. Today's technology, man. High-speed internet, broadband, fiber optic. I'm doing more from my ranch house in the front porch at night, doing more radio shows than I have been in studio in my life.
When we get a chance, we'll have to visit about what you're using to be able to produce. I'm curious about what you've got set up there. Very
streamlined and probably outdated. And that's what, when I was reading through you guys' resume basically is here, I have some questions for you guys. I wouldn't mind your take on some of this stuff. The only thing I do have, I invested a ton of money in, was my phone system, this Telos V-Set system, so I can take calls in from different areas, because
I know the one you're talking about. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a little bit on the spendy side, but I want to upgrade. I got a new laptop. I just am trying to get everything from the Mac or the HP side over to the Mac side and see how it works together. And I'm having a little issues with that, but there you go. Big Daddy Dave Williams and Pierre, good morning. Thank you. Appreciate your carrying my program down there. Check out my new Country Fresh podcast. Okay. I'll do that.
Hey, Beck, I'm working as we're going. Where's our to-do list at? I'm on the computer. I'm trying to find that. Under what tab is that under?
Oh, I don't know if everybody wants to hear about where it's at, but yes, it's in our.
It's under the honey-do list.
Exactly. Wait, that's.
I'm trying to find that. I'm trying to update.
Apparently, you're not looking at the honey-do list that often if you're having to now.
Apparently not. I mean, last time logged in was 1984, I think.
All right. There it is. Jay Berg says, I'm listening, but I need to figure out how to use my phone and YouTube at the same time.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Probably
See, I'm
can't.
still waking up. I'm not the greatest person when it comes to getting up early in the morning. So, and this isn't early. I know that by no means, but I tend to function in my own little world until a certain time. And it doesn't matter if I'm in the outdoors or where I'm at. I'm in my own little world for a couple of hours.
So is this a warning to me or to Tigger?
All of the above.
He already knows how I am. So I'm being friendly and letting you know, Scott, that,
Okay.
that I'm drinking this coffee as fast as I can.
Well,
We are transparent people, so you're going to get a full taste of what our life is like.
That's what it is.
And he's told me, by the way, since I fell into starting to do this stuff, I'm just supposed to be me. So watch out.
Oh, that's not a problem. Not a problem. This is what I like. Live. A lot of people. Do you guys do your shows live? Don't you?
No, all of our stuff is pre-recorded because, for Sirius XM and RFD, we got to hit that clock on exactly that minute.
I see.
Hey, Beck, I did find the to-do list. I'll start updating.
Oh, that's awesome, because you know what? I didn't find it. So apparently I don't look at the to-do list either. I just do my own thing.
All right. So about 60 seconds. Beck, we have a break at 15 after, a 5-minute break, and a 5-minute break at 30 after. And then, so if I cut you off or have to do any of that, that is why we're doing it that way.
You.
So there, lock both of you guys in here. Looks like Jay's getting excited to try to call in too. We'll see.
Oh boy. Jay, keep it clean, brother. Must be 18 to listen to this show.
On YouTube, I have to put it that way.
I think that's why we don't do the call-ins.
Yeah.
Or live call-ins, I should say.
It does. Yeah. All right, stand by. We have 15 seconds. Stations, 15 seconds on mark. Stations, 5 seconds on mark. 5 seconds. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm your host, Scott Bachmeyer, and for the next hour, we have the privilege of talking agricultural and outdoors across the Dakota Territory on great stations like KFYR in Bismarck, Mandan, KOLY in Mobridge, South Dakota, KCJB up in the Minot, North Dakota area, KLTC in Dickinson, and KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota, along with all of you watching on my YouTube channel this morning. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Another great morning here at the ranch this morning, down to the last board of calf, and right after the show, headed across the river to another branding, helping out the neighbors. One of the seasons I love best in the Dakota Territory, branding season, right along with hunting season, and how they go together so well. Here's a tip. If you want to find, you won't find any better time to create a better relationship than helping somebody round up at branding time. I guarantee it. And you might even get to go shed hunting at the same time. Today's show brought to you by the folks at Action Motorsports on the Strip in Mandan, offering the Polaris Ag Advantage program. If you're a farmer or rancher, Action Motorsports will give you 10% off the top, right off the purchase of a brand new Ranger, General, or Sportsman, UTV, or ATV. Action Motorsports wants to thank, they just appreciate all the egg producers and what they do for making sure that we have enough food on the table and wildlife in the country, and some of the best conservationists in the world. Action Motorsports on the Strip in Mandan. Kind of a pretty great show lined up for you here this morning on Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I have 2 guests for you today. And if you'd like to call in and join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-932-5682. That's 888-932-5682. And just a reminder, when you call in, you're automatically put on hold. I'll get to your call as soon as we can. You can also text any comments, questions, or concerns to 701-425-6651. Again, 701-425-6651. Rebecca Warner with the Bend Radio Show. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Scott. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And Jeff Earhart with Ranch It Up Radio Show and Ranch It Up TV. Good morning, Tigger.
Hey, good morning. How are you, sir?
I am just dandy here. Welcome to the radio program. Good to be on here. And as some people are probably thinking, what is he doing having other radio shows on his radio show? And I told you yesterday, Tigger, that we need to do some more cross promotions because we're all in for the same thing: better wildlife, better agricultural management, and hopefully better egg prices this fall for me here. But Rebecca, give us a little bit of a background of who you are here.
Well, I am a rancher's daughter, an outdoor enthusiast, and everything like you said about branding to all of that. I'm at that as well. So I have an outdoor radio show, The Bend, on Sirius XM 147, and it is weekly. We focus different people in the outdoors with a theme in the outdoors, whether they have an empowering, inspiring story, and all of that. It's a really a great, good feel type show.
Okay.
And we also always offer outdoor news, and you never know with us. We keep ourselves very transparent.
All right. And Jeff, Tigger Earhart here with the Ranch It Up radio show. Give a little bit of background of what you're doing and what you've been doing here since you came back to the country. You left the country, now you're back.
Well, I have to first say this because you're probably, Beck, you didn't even make any coffee this morning. So that's what I'm doing. You said, what am I doing as we speak? So when Rebecca is describing her show for y'all, I actually am making some coffee. So just hold on here, Scott.
We could hear it in the background. We could hear the shuffling going on in the background here on the. You bet.
Okay. Perfect.
It's coming through.
I went to go grab another cup of coffee, and she didn't have the coffee maker made. But a little bit about my show, Ranch It Up. We have had the privilege to be able to be featured on Sirius XM, the RFD station, channel 147. And like you said, Scott, we do need to do some more cross promotion, some collaboration. We're in the same arena. We're telling the same message. And our show is the Ranch It Up show. Very much, we try to move along, I guess, in 30 minutes as fast as we can to go through some news issues that are facing cattle producers. We go through some sale barn reports. We pretty much anything I say that has to do with the cow stuff. So, I mean, we can dive off into the weeds, talking everything about dung beetles to, a little bit of everything about a little bit of everything. And like a lot of people, the way that COVID changed the way that we're doing things. Interestingly enough, I was out of the country in my home area here of North Dakota for 10, 12 years. I was in the Oklahoma and Kansas area. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, before you know it, we are right back here. Beck has been here this whole time, and all of a sudden I kind of joined her back in North Dakota a year ago, and here we are. North of Mandan is where our studio is located, and glad to be back.
And you can do everything that you need for Sirius XM and 147 right there from your home.
Yeah, and actually, just like you, Scott, you're self-contained in your own little. Sometimes it's misery, I think, but we're self-contained in our own little studio right here on the place.
Excellent. And one of the things I want to ask, I'll start with Beck here first. What do you feel is a concern right now for the agricultural / outdoor industry? Because in my mind, they go so well together. I feel that they're one and the same, and some people don't agree with me on this, but what do you feel in your own opinion?
Oh, I'm absolutely with you. They go hand in hand, which is even where our show is kind of, we joke that we have the power hour, because whether it's his show or my show, depending on how they're airing one after another, they just kind of connect. If you are a farmer rancher in the ranching egg industry, you're outdoors. You are an outdoorsman by and large as well. That's just how it rolls. I think, again, is that there's a lot of miseducation happening with those that aren't connected in, I guess I'll take a Tigger Jeff saying of, at the end of dirt roads, there's a lot of miseducation, misunderstanding where people's food comes from, what it all takes to orchestrate it. And even then when it goes to environment, pandemic, good or bad, has forced more people than ever back into the outdoors. And there's this miseducation of of how to respect the outdoors now that you're getting into. It's kind of funny. All of us always look out our back door and be like, it's always been there, right? But it's amazing how many people are now just venturing out and not remembering to be respectful and leave things better than when they maybe were at them. It just goes hand in hand. I'm with you. There's issues there of just people not understanding even the simple things of taking care of what you have in front of you when you go out and enjoy someone's backyard, aka the outdoors.
And I know there's been more and more, first off, RV and campers that have been sold for during this COVID-19 pandemic, so-called pandemic thing, but it's been crazy in that industry too, hasn't it?
Absolutely. They call it the bike boom, boat boom of 2020, and as well as the RV. But that kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit more fun saying bike boom, boat boom. But they're speculating from what I've been able to see on my side is they're pushing it. This could last all the way into 2023 with the backlogs of boats and bicycles. And then, the e-bikes are coming out huge in the hunting world. I'm trying to get my hands even on one because it just is kind of a pretty neat idea how they're really pushing those too into that market. So good luck getting an RV. I've been shopping for a Cousin Eddie RV, although my brother Adam and whoever and other friends have said, ew, that's kind of gross. But I'm like, hey, at this point, you can't even find an RV. So,
well, Beck, I'm going to cut you off right there. We're up against the break. We'll have more. And the phone lines are open, 888-932-5682. We're with Rebecca Warner and Jeff Earhart with the Bend and Ranch It Up radio show. More on the way.
Are you looking for a home loan? Dakota Community Bank and Trust makes it easy and convenient to find the best loan program and most current rates available. Whether you are shopping for a home for the first time or thinking about new construction or refinancing, we offer the assistance of an experienced mortgage officer. Together with a convenient online or in-person application process, let us walk alongside you to find that exact loan to meet your specific needs. Find your local home loan officer at dakotacommunitybank.com.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Boat Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Piper's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Piper's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy. For more information or land updates, go to Pifers.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
Western Frontier Insurance.
Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
Did you know that Dakota Community Bank and Trust was recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks 2021? According to Newsweek, from over 2,500 FDIC-insured institutions, we are amongst the nation's top banks to serve our customers' needs in today's challenging times, ranking number 1 in North Dakota. We invite you to come bank with us. Stop in today to your nearest Dakota Community Bank and Trust and see what being America's best small bank is all about.
Piper's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Piper's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition here all across the Dakota Territory. KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota, K-Fire 550 in Bismarck, Mandan, KLTC out of Dickinson, KOLY in Mobridge, and KCJB in Minot. And thank you for all listening and watching on the YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Music coming back in there from my good friend Benny Paulson up north of that Killdeer area. You heard him here live in my studio. It was during, Christmas. It was colder than heck out. I know that. It was one of the few times this winter that we had him down here. And if you want to find more music by Benny Paulson and his band, Breaking 8 is the name of the band. You can find him on iTunes and all music sources. Once again, my guests today are Rebecca Warner with The Bend Radio Show and Jeff Tigger Earhart with Ranch It Up. And I'll tell you this right now. You guys know Benny Paulson at all? Do you guys know him?
Oh gosh, yes, he does.
Well,
Jeff, are you there? Oh
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I'm here. I actually, Benny and I. It was funny you say that, Scott, because I'm going through my to-do list as we speak, as we were talking off air. It literally was right there that I got it on my to-do list to call Benny, because I've got to talk to him about some other things. Benny and I go back, back to the old days, because we used to ride bulls together. We traveled together. So Benny has been one of my closest and longest friends for many years.
Yeah. And no, Becca, if you know him, but what a talented guy.
Yes, I do.
Man.
Yes, I've even gotten to see him play live when he's been in Vegas before the NFR, when it was still in Vegas. I do know Benny.
Yeah, he came down to the studio this past winter here, and I said, you got to come in and do some of your music on the radio show. So we just did this whole show like we're doing here this morning with him playing songs and people calling in and requesting different ones. So that was nice. It was fun. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, it was a
Very
good
cool.
time. Yeah. So we finished off with Beck talking about what's some of the most important things to look at the industry between hunting and the ranching and agricultural side and farming side of things. Tigger, your turn. What do you feel is some of the concerns that we got to look forward to here in the future, or maybe some things that are doing pretty well right now?
Oh boy. If we look at, are you talking on the ranching side? Or are we talking on the ranching kind of land ownership, and are we talking on kind of the wildlife sporting side?
You take it where you want to, and I'll have fun having a conversation with you.
Okay, we were just featured here the other day on doing some television interviews, and that very question came up. So of course, on the ranching side, we had to dance with the topic of fake meats
Yep.
of plant-based proteins. We really, we went down that rabbit hole and we dove in the weeds on that and really tried to make people understand. And here's the thing, and then this is something that Rebecca and I pride ourselves on, is we are very transparent people. This is what we believe and we understand. So I'm going to say it like this: is people can do what they want to do as long as they understand and can justify the reasons of why they are doing X, Y, Z. If they're doing X, Y, Z just to do X, Y, Z, it doesn't make any darn sense in the world. So if we're talking about fake meats and we're doing it because of a nutritional standpoint, we need some more information. If we're doing eating and consuming a plant-based protein based on what the ingredients are, we need to sit down and have a conversation about that. That is a very, very, very big issue that is facing. And I know there's a lot of producers out there that are listening, and they might say, but that may not affect me in my little corner of paradise. It absolutely is affecting us, because we're seeing it in the prices that we are or we are not receiving when we are doing business at one of the great local sale barns, or we are, doing business with maybe one of our cattle buyers, or we're doing business with maybe one of our internet video buyers, something like that. We are absolutely not seeing the prices we should be receiving. Now, let me dance in that arena, if I can, Scott, to answer that question. And the immediate concern to me, if there's a million things we're battling right now, and because of social media, we're able to very much stay plugged, I guess I'm going to say, both good and bad, into what is happening instantaneously. But the biggest issue that faces us as producers right as we speak, in my opinion, is this, and that is the tremendous price disparity, if I'm looking for the right word, the tremendous price differentiation, the deviation, those are the words I'm looking for, between what all of us as consumers are paying when we go and we purchase our and I'm talking beef now, that we're going and we're purchasing our beef, and the actual physical price that people like Scott and Rebecca and I and a bunch of people listening are receiving when we do market said product. Now, in the last and I looked at it, don't quote me on this, everybody, it's going to be like the last 17 or 18 years. I'm not sure exactly which one it was. We are at the biggest price swing. These are things Scott talked about to y'all every single day. So you've heard this before, but this is where the danger really is coming in now more than ever, because we are seeing this tremendous variance between what all of us as consumers are paying to consume a protein product, and what we are actually being what we're being paid to raise said product. So therein lies the biggest issue, in my opinion, that we are facing as cattle producers. Scott, what say you? Rebecca, what say you?
Well, first I want to ask you, this happens at every spring at brandings I go to. We get into the same conversation, and this year it's been more of a conversation, and I think I've been to 10 or 11 brandings already this spring. And the question that comes to me is, they say, well, what can we do? What can the average producer out here in the North and South Dakota do to change somebody's mind? And what would you say to that?
Okay, you led me right into that. This is so wonderful. There's a couple what I call direct and indirect things that we can do as producers. The indirect is what I say. There are some amazing organizations right now. There's some amazing associations that represent us on the grassroots side of things. They are in charge of lobbying, getting a hold of our senators. I think that is so very important. Whatever it is that we believe, we need to be able to support those people in whatever way we can, because we might not be in a physical direct position to have our voice heard, aka picking up the phone and calling an area code 202 number to talk to our legislation in Washington, D.C. That's what I call the indirect, because, and I know, like what you said, Scott, people are going to say, well, how do I make a difference? I'm just a drop in the bucket.
Right.
But now more than ever, people band together. Beck and I band together, and then we get together with Scott, and then we get together with Jay, and then we get together with all of these other people, and now our voices are being heard, and now we have lots of drops in the bucket. And you know what happens? That bucket will get filled up. That's what I call the indirect. We have the opportunity with all of these social media, good, bad, and indifferent, for our voices to be heard, and we have to express. If nothing else, just share your voice and let people know that can help you. You know, like Rebecca and I with what we do, what Scott with what he does, to be able to spread the word of what is working and what isn't working. That's what I call the indirect. What we call the direct. And Rebecca and I were just going through this, here the other day when we were going through break evens with our cows, and we were going through different scenarios. Here's the direct, and I'm not going to go down the road and down the rabbit hole of animal husbandry and production practices, but now more than ever is the time and the opportunity as producers, as for Rebecca and I'm going to pick on us to say, what can we do different on our operations? That's the direct. Do we need to change our genetics? Do we need to change how we're marketing? Do we need to change how we are managing our, the insects? Do we need to change? Do we need to work on this? Do we need to work on that? Do we need to add mineral? Do we need to, bring in, somebody like Jay to help us reproductively? All those types of things are what we can do directly. So here's what I'm going to say is when we're at our brandings and we're visiting with people in the mornings and just solving the world's energy crisis, what I'm going to say is there are many, 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 many things that we can do as producers, both directly and indirectly.
Once again, that's Jeff Tigger Earhart from the Ranch It Up Radio Show and Rebecca Warner from the Bend Radio Show. We'll be back with more Dakota Prairie Outdoors coming up your way here, all across the Dakota Territory and around the world on YouTube.
Are you looking for a home loan? Dakota Community Bank and Trust makes it easy and convenient to find the best loan program and most current rates available. Whether you are shopping for a home for the first time or thinking about new construction or refinancing, we offer the assistance of an experienced mortgage officer, together with a convenient online or in-person application process. Let us walk alongside you to find that exact loan to meet your specific needs. Find your local home loan officer at dakotacommunitybank.com.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Piper's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Piper's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy. For more information or land updates, go to Pifers.com. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Wilton.
Did you know that Dakota Community Bank and Trust was recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks 2021? According to Newsweek, from over 2,500 FDIC-insured institutions, we are amongst the nation's top banks to serve our customers' needs in today's challenging times, ranking number 1 in North Dakota. We invite you to come bank with us. Stop in today to your nearest Dakota Community Bank and Trust and see what being America's best small bank is all about.
Piper's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Piper's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Good morning and welcome back. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues here on a beautiful Saturday morning here at the ranch. I tell you what, here it's just a great day. Every chance you get to wake up, and the good Lord gives you another sunrise to take a look at. It's always a good day, no matter what. Could pray for a little bit of rain, though, couldn't we? Do we have Jeff Tigger Earhart from the Ranch It Up radio show and Rebecca Warner from the Bend radio show? Welcome back, guys. Are you still with me?
Yep.
Oh,
We are still here.
Well,
I got to admit, it is a gorgeous morning. And I don't know about you, Scott, but I woke up to more birds singing than I have in a long time.
Well, it is a beautiful morning here at the ranch too. It is. There's no wind, and that's a big thing for me.
That's a huge thing. This whole last week, I think everybody was out getting all of their fencing done or seeding done, whatever they could be. No wind is a gift.
So, Rebecca, I'm gonna continue with you, but first I want to get to a couple text messages and then ask you a question. First off, the first text message comes from Jay, and I don't think he realizes him and I are going to the same branding. I think this morning he said, "Excellent program, but I need to go catch some horses for branding today, so I might miss some of your show. Have a great day." I'm like, I'm pretty sure we're going to the same branding, so I got to go do the same thing after the show too, Jay. I just have to drive a little faster. Another one comes in and he says, selling freezer beef to individuals helps, but it won't save the ranch. We need the packers, but we need a fair and honest bidding process. We're not getting that right now. Rebecca, comments on that?
I couldn't agree more. And I think just to play off of what Tigger had said, we all need to continue making our voices heard and band together, because again, all those little drops in a bucket are going to start filling the bucket, or we're going to get some ground under us.
Yeah.
So absolutely, couldn't agree more. I'd love to see more dollars too. We are right there with you.
So when we look at the question in branding season, sometimes I had one guy come up to me and ask me, he says, I don't have Facebook. And a lot of people, that's what he told me. I do. But a lot of the farmers and ranchers don't have a Facebook page or a presence on the social media side. And it seems to me the social media side has taken advantage of promoting some false narratives out there. And so I don't know if I might get in trouble on this. I might not. But when the Black Lives Matter was protesting and doing all that years and years ago, I started posting pictures of my Black Angus cattle and calling it Black Lives Matter too. Right? I mean, hashtagging all my posts with Black Lives Matter. And now what I've been doing is telling people that I raise the original plant-based beef, because all my cattle do are eat grass. That's what they're raised on. So, Rebecca, how can social media help our cause instead of sometimes a lot of people look at it as hurting our cause?
I'm with you that social media has a lot of good and bad to it. From my standpoint, I'm with you. I'm in the midst of branding season. We just sat down yesterday with our planners because Tigger's going, all right, how many more do you have on the books? How many more Saturdays, Fridays? When are you going to be gone? All of that. And I guess from my standpoint, I am very much like you. I post about, we're transparent about our lives. Branding season comes, even the guys in the roping pen, if I'm not roping myself, they're saying, Beck, grab your camera. Because I think, again, with the miseducation out there and understanding of what's going on in this lifestyle, this cowboy way of life, the traditions that we have, they're not seeing it directly from us. And just sharing those times of we're working as a community, we're getting together, they're seeing how the cattle are actually their work, they're seeing the guys on horses, women on horses. They're able to now experience it differently than from, say, nightly news or something like that. They're actually, getting it right from the horse's mouth, you might want to say.
Yeah.
So that's our fun, our chance to put a good light on what we do. And that's our way to get right to the end consumer versus some middleman trying to portray it as however they might want to.
No,
so I guess I take after it that way.
Okay, so I'm sorry to cut you off there, but yesterday when Tigger called me and we are kind of going through what we're going to be talking about, I says, "Wow, we'll talk about anything we really want to." I'm going to twist this around on you, Beck, here just a little bit and say, how could you see a lot of the hunting industry right now is folks from more of an urban areas. Those of us out in the farming ranch community, we hunt. But we do it because, we fill our freezers up or what have you with venison or any kind of animals that they want to go after, I guess. How can we get together with the more of the urban areas, especially on the hunting side, and get them on our side of the thing, and not only on the landowner and property rights issues, but which is a kind of a fight. It seems like every legislative session. But also on the marketing side of things too. How do you feel we could work together with those hunting industry and hunting groups?
Boy, that is a tough one, especially I'm glad we're the landowner property right one. Yeah, that's always a constant battle. You're right, every year. It just is. But I keep coming back to building these relationships and engaging with one another. I guess there is one good part about social media is they've developed groups, if you might say, where you can join them and become, what do you want to call it? In these groups on Facebook, just to explain it to everybody, it's Facebook. And then, yes, they have groups, which, back in the day might have been called clubs or something like that. But really they're groups and they're of like-minded individuals. I know like Tigger's in a lot of them. I'm in a lot of them, and they span from hunting to fishing, angling, to backpacking, backcountry, to cattle, all of that. But you start finding people with like-minded interests, and you'll find out that a lot of these guys, once they realize that us ranchers, farmers, we're true conservationists. I mean, we take care of the land, and they are wanting to learn more about the land and realizing that if they build good friendships, then their hunting opportunities also can expand. It's all about, sometimes you joke about who you know, what you know, things like that, but you have to start finding these like-minded people. And then as they learn from us and our ways, then they take that back home and they're sharing it with their other friends. And so I just feel like it's important for us to all continue to keep engaging with one another, sharing our knowledge, being welcoming, and not being afraid of being approachable to people, being that good person they feel like they can go to and ask these questions of, something as simple as why do you always close the gate or after you go through it, things like that have maybe stirred, been a spur under someone's saddle for a long time. Well, somebody so-and-so did this to me, and letting these things go and remember that now with what we're dealing with are people wanting more knowledge than ever. And they're wanting to, I guess I keep hoping and believing everybody wants to leave our earth, everything, leave our pastures better than they were before. And so just continuing to be approachable and share what we have, because it's all we do have. We all have to live here. We all might as well find a way to be together and enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah. So I was going through my phone messages yesterday. I had a little bit of time and going through some old voicemails. And with an outdoor radio program on my daily show is, it's like 3 minutes long, 5 minutes with a intro and some commercials on a lot of great radio stations that play this, including the ones that are playing the show right now today. I get some pretty nasty voicemails and I get some pretty nasty emails on some people listening to my program, and nothing worse than shooting a porcupine. I have a guy in Utah that is just he's not a fan. I'll just say it that way. But I get some feedback that way once in a while, and it's not as much as you'd think anymore because I've been doing it a while and maybe people are just tired of it. But do you guys ever feel that what we do on the radio side of things, that we're sometimes just preaching to the choir? Tigger?
That's crazy you're bringing that up, because Beck and I, we were just talking about that the other day, where I'm going to expand on that. When you say preaching to the choir, in some ways, there are some people that they've put it on our shoulders that, well, we should be doing this and we should be doing that and all those types of things, where we only have so much.
Absolutely right. I'm trying to you're absolutely right. They think we should be the end all be all, or I don't know, we're going to fix this.
And we can influence. We've been blessed to be able to have the opportunity to share your voice, really, not ours, but yours. But and everybody has their different approach of how they do things. Some people are a certain way. Some people may be just a tick more aggressive. We tend to, or at least for me, I can say I try to interject, a lot of my rodeo announcing, career into it, where I try to be humorous. I try to be inviting. I try to be funny. I try to create partnerships, if you will, versus starting battles. So it does get, in my opinion, very tough what we do, because, and that's the beauty of the farmer and the rancher in this world, because the tenacity that they have and the convictions that they have, the outdoorsmen, those types of people, the passion that y'all have is absolutely amazing, because you stick to what you believe. And sometimes that can hurt us, though, because sometimes maybe we get ourselves, as I like to say, off in the weeds, down the rabbit hole a little bit, where maybe we have a little hard time seeing that other side to something. But ultimately, we've with Rebecca and I, this is our career path. This is just like you, Scott. Very, very much sister businesses. We ranch, we run cattle, we do this full time. We're in front of microphones, and where we feel like it's our calling, but yet in the same breath, we can't solve the energy crisis overnight. We can do what we can do, but we can only do so much, and that comes back to with what our whole conversations have been about, of what really can we do as producers out there? What really, how really can we start building relationships between landowners and people that want to be land users, that want to come and enjoy the beautiful sport of hunting and harvesting wildlife on our lands, all of those things. With Rebecca and I, they all come down to conversations, not battles.
Yeah. Rebecca?
Yes. Well, and I'm going to, relay too, is we've heard the criticisms, you don't just get the texts and the voicemails, you hear the backlash on social media. And then on top of it, when you're trying to get out a good message, whether it's in the agriculture sector or the outdoors sector, you have to be very careful. A lot of times people don't realize how careful. You've probably encountered this too, Scott, where you have to make sure you're not making posts using certain words that are being searched out, and immediately all of a sudden you're being throttled back, literally, and your message, Facebook, somebody else is jumping in there and cutting you off and being like, no, we're not going to share this message just because you used a couple of words they don't agree with, or they've deemed as key words that they don't agree with. And it's us having to constantly be quick on our feet and smart and work together so we can continue to get out a great message and keep everybody communicating.
Yeah, so much for freedom of speech sometimes. But on a positive side, let's talk about the good part. So we can make fun of Jay, because he's probably still trying to catch his horse right now. and get over there. But on the positive note, Rebecca, what have you seen over the years of doing your radio program that has given you some hope that, you know what, we're going in the right direction, and this is we're going to continue doing what all three of us do and keep plugging along here?
Well, actually, all I've really felt is positive sides. There's been no struggles, but really, I've really only encountered a lot of positivity. And it's what's been so exciting for me is the amount of people from across the nation that are getting a hold of me and saying, hey, we have an inspiring story from, you know, a gentleman that comes back from serving a couple tours in Iraq saying, hey, you know, I'm having a hard time making friends, and on his own, you find out a story here. He took his own money and started a group of like-minded individuals, other veterans getting together. And now they're getting a hold of ranches, and they're able to go hunting and fishing and forming new friendships. And then finding, you know, the next person might be somebody who's overcome another big issue in their life or decided to change their life altogether and say, I'm not going to do this as a career anymore. I'm going to head to the Florida Keys and become a fishing captain, you know, doing amazing things in the outdoors. And these stories aren't getting told or shared, and they're so inspirational and empowering to others. It makes us all sit back and gives us reasons to continue to hope and dream and all of that. So at this point, I'm finding a lot of inspiration, and I get a lot of feedback from social media and stuff. I'm having people get a hold of me and telling me these story leads, saying, hey, have you heard of so-and-so? They did this amazing thing. And I'm going, okay, wow, I wouldn't have heard it had I not been out there doing this job. So I'm very appreciative.
Well, and Jeff, when I talked to you and I was reading through some of your achievements and everything that you've done, you and I have some similarities here because we're both auctioneers. We both do rodeo announcing. However, you do a little bit higher. You're on the PRCA side, and I do the kids rodeos around this area. And I'll tell you this right now, I probably have just as much fun doing the kids rodeos as you do PRCA.
Right? Yeah, with the wee ones, I say always. Yeah. The you know, and it's a fun thing. It's exciting that we're finally. I don't want to say we're getting back to normal because we don't know what that is. We're discovering a new way to live, and there's me trying to put a positive spin, maybe for myself to make me feel better. But even on the rodeo side, we're opening back up again, where you know there's more rodeos, and ultimately for me, gosh, there's more business. This was kind of interesting where normally, you know, I will work 20 to 30 events a year. And that includes, you know, amateur rodeos, pro rodeos, but also I do a lot of keynote speaking and public speaking across the country. Well, we all know what happened, you know, the last 18 months, or whatever it's been, and, you know, flatten the curve in 2 weeks, as they say. But, normally I do 20 to 30 events literally across the country, border to border. I did two events last year. One was a freebie. I didn't even charge for it. So we are very thankful to be able to have things opening up, because for like Rebecca and I, where we do a lot of traveling, and that is a big portion of our income is in the Western lifestyle entertainment industry. I'll say, oh my gosh, we are very, very thankful that things are starting to open up. And my banker thanks you all too, because we're able to make payments this year.
Well, I'll tell you this, we have about 2.5 minutes here. So I'm going to give Rebecca first. Give me your 60-second selfless plug on your radio show.
Well, everybody, I encourage you all to check out thebendshow.com. You can find me on Sirius XM, channel 147, as well as multiple other AM/FM stations across the U.S. And then you can pick it up as a podcast afterwards, again, by heading to thebendshow.com or looking me up on any of the popular podcast applications that are out there. Also, follow me on social media. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I am everywhere. I'm a crazy Aunt Beck to some great nephews and kids, and you might find me even at a branding, and you can follow me there at The Bend Show.
Jeff, your turn. Selfless 60 seconds.
All right, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to make it real easy. If you would like to have some more outdoor programming, in addition to all the great things Scott does on this fine station you're listening to right now, call in and say, you know what, we want to have The Bend and Ranch It Up aired on this fine radio station, because we can make it happen in the blink of an eye. So there, I'm going to make it real easy for everybody. You want some more great stuff? Call your local radio station and we'll make it happen.
Perfect. I appreciate you guys coming on. Now, we just before we go here, Rebecca, favorite event. What's your favorite job at a branding?
Oh, roping.
What's the most important job at the branding?
The cook.
Thank you.
Well, I was told here by a guy, I was laying the iron down on one branding, and he comes up, he says, Scott, remember, it's called a branding, not a roping. He says, make the brands look good. So the most important job, he says, was the actual branding itself. How about you there, Tigger? What's your favorite job at the branding?
Mine is the cook, because I love to cowboy cook and Dutch oven cook, and those people that because the cook never gets yelled at, and as soon as you start to get mouthy with the cook, you go to the end of the line.
And if you don't tell them when you're coming in, or I was told yesterday, if you guys sit around the pickup and drink too much beer and you think you got to finish the cooler before you get back for food, that's what makes them mad.
Exactly right. Exactly right. You got it. I will cook for y'all's branding.
Well, you guys hold on here a second. I'm going to do a little bit of a couple of announcements I have to finish up. But thanks for coming on the radio show, guys. Just hang with me here a little bit. Again, that's Jeff Earhart with Ranch It Up Radio Show and Rebecca Warner with the Bend Radio Show. Coming up is the 7th annual Dakota Duel. The Lions Custom Armory is having this July 17th and 18th, and this is near Little Eagle, South Dakota. Long range shooting contest. Get more information just going to their website right there. The Denny Palmer Memorial Walleye Classic, June 11th and 12th. The Bismarck Mandan Reel and Rec Club 40th Annual Walleye Derby, Saturday, May 15th. That's today. That's going on today, right now. The 4th Annual Heart Butte Kids Youth Tournament, June 12th is coming up. And also the Pollock Men's Club. Team registration form is up right now. 43rd Annual Walleye Tournament, June 19th and 20th. That's coming up your way as well. And having a shoot south of Mott, June 5th. 555 plates. Eat some meat, drink some milk. Thanks for tuning in. All right, radio stations, thank you so much. We'll catch you later. Jeff and Becca, we're still on YouTube for a little bit. So if there's any final comments you would like to have here before I leave YouTube, you can sure leave that for the listeners that come back and watch this later on. There's quite a few people that watch the show during the week here on YouTube.
Oh, well, that's terrific. I guess I just think about continue to grab great programming, like Jeff said, whether they're watching and listening to your show. Absolutely, Scott. I'm hoping we can start and do some more of this. This has been a lot of fun, actually. And it's fun for me to visit with somebody that is excited about the outdoors and branding, because it's a joke, that a relationship is on hold during hunting season. Jeff kind of had to learn with me, even though he does brandings and stuff, to what extent I take it the same way. I'm like, oh no, branding is its own season. I check out.
Absolutely,
you're working around my branding season schedule and all the mishaps that might happen. And it's a joke about me even is where are you going to find back? You don't know where you're going to find me. I've lived out of a suitcase for so many years, where this COVID, me sitting down still and actually unpacking the suitcase has been crazy, because my family is used to, they started a hashtag years ago called Catch It Back If You Can, because I would be gone traveling with my other career, come home and show up the next day at weaning, and my brother would be like, when did you get back? We're weaning today? I'm like, yeah, I figured you need somebody to help you sort, need somebody to run the hydraulic chute, and I'm getting you need somebody else to help truck. And he's like, oh my God, you're the best sister. So, you never know. And that's what's great about shows like yours and mine and Ranch It Up, is that we're all transparent. We're real people at the end of the day, that you can sit back and have a cocktail or a whiskey around the campfire.
All right. So before I forget, write this down, you two. You need to call Dakota Radio Group. The Big Daddy Dave down in Pierre is messaging me this right now. He says, Dakota Radio Group Media, DRG Media Group. DRG stands for Dakota Radio Group. Call down to Pierre and ask for Paul Raleigh. And Paul Raleigh is the guy who helped me get my program on Pierre, and has just been just a great guy to work with down there. And he says, contact him about getting your program on there. Here's
fantastic.
Here's the phone number. That's a lot of digits. Big Daddy, that's more digits than I think is supposed to be there. There you go. Okay. He types back 605-224-8686. And
Great.
Wonderful.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, they're just the Dakota Radio Group. They got like a Pierre, Mobridge. I think they got quite a few more other stations, but they carry a lot of South Dakota stations, and just they've been really nice to work with. Really super nice to work with. But just don't take my time slot, damn it.
Oh, you wouldn't do that.
No. But yeah. Well, guys, I appreciate it. I got to go grab my horse here and try to get my trailer hooked up quick and head over. So I appreciate it.
Anytime, Scott, we are in studio, 5-6 days a week. So anytime you have a moment where, okay, I need to do this. I need to do this. In fact, we do that a lot for other just, people in their business too. I mean, we're all in the same darn thing. So anytime you run into a bind and you're like, dude, I don't have anything for today, give me a 30-second soundbite on the price of meat, something, I'd be more than happy to help you anyway. I
appreciate that. Yeah, that's huge because, and Becca, you too, on my outdoor program, I might kind of lean on you a little bit a few more times.
I would love that. Absolutely. Call me anytime. And likewise, I'd like to have you now on my show. I think we could have some fun with this.
Oh, if you like the, somebody told me that I'm kind of like that hillbilly guy that goes out and ranches and hunts and shoots things, but I don't think so. Everything I do is legal. I think everything I do is legal. I'm pretty sure of it. I just tell it like it is what I do.
Well, and that's what's awesome about us, though. That's what makes us